So this guy manifested $200,000 from nothing.
What's going on, everybody? I'm back. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to make a video about today, to be honest with you, but I think I'm going to make a video about previous experiences with manifestation. And in specific, I actually just got off the phone with someone talking about this exact experience and how it affected me so much in my life. And that was when this all started. When this all started, dude, I was a nobody. Like I was a nobody. I was working a dead-end job, right? Being a delivery driver, hometown, 4 or 5 years out of high school, all the potential in the world, but wasn't doing anything with it. It's not even really fair to say, I was trying to do stuff with it. I was trying to become a day trader. I was trying to go pro in basketball. And I made good strides. I really did. I made excellent strides. I made good money in terms of day trading for how young I was, at least. And I got a D2 D2 college scholarship offer to walk on to a college, but then I ended up blowing out my ankle. And so at the end of the day, I was left with the day trading, which was good, but at times it could be inconsistent. And it wasn't enough at that time to get me out of what I was trying to do, which was working a part-time job as a delivery driver. I had much bigger expectations of myself and where I should be in life. And that's the God's honest truth.
He had an idea what he wants to do. He started college, but yeah, that ended up very badly because he got hurt. He couldn't continue the scholarship. He was doing day trading, but like he said, day trading can be good, can be bad. All depends on how good you are at day trading. And basically, his life was going downwards. He didn't know what to do anymore.
And so one day, in my car, a fateful Sunday night, right? I go out there and I have this moment with myself. And I'm in the car and I'm just breaking down. I mean, I'm just breaking down like I've never done in my entire life.
How many times does this happen to all of us? Once we're so close to changing our reality, to changing our lives, we have a breakdown. We have to have the lowest point of our lives. That needs to happen. That's the only way for the new reality to form. Because the old reality needs to be destroyed. Your old identity needs to die. And that's why everything needs to break apart. So the new path, the new way, the better way can be open. So you can go through that door. So you can open up your new reality.
I don't cry. I don't ever cry. But I'm weeping tears of pain and sorrow and sadness and guilt and shame. All sorts of different stuff that I was feeling in that moment. And it was in expectation of why I hadn't become who I wanted to become at that point. And so what I did in that moment is I shifted it all. I shifted all of the emotion that I was feeling in that moment to then becoming the person that I wanted to be. And I had this epiphany that I already was.
Through crying, through all these negative emotions, when you let them out, when you let them go, you feel empty. You're finally empty for the first time ever. Because before that, you had this baggage. You had all the weights hanging on you. But when you let them go, when you cry them out, you're finally free to fill yourself with new potential, with your new identity, with the new things that are coming to you.
I just transmuted all of the energy that I was feeling at that moment in terms of the negative into the positive, into the real version of the new me. And that was someone who was extraordinarily wealthy, healthy, happy, in love, and peaceful. And what happened the following weeks, I mean, dude, it's like out of a movie, right? I'm working the job. And my car explodes. My car explodes, burns my arm, sends me to the ER. Now I have a ER bill. I lost my car, which was the source of income at the delivery job that I had. And it was insane.
This is actually crazy because I have a similar situation in my life where I wasn't in an accident, but my brother was in an accident, and the car was kind of totaled, but he was scratch free, so he was okay, no problem at all. But the problem was, me and him were living together. We were just starting a new thing. Now we lost the car. We barely have any money. And one of the solutions was to actually go back together to our parents' house and to start like from scratch from there. And it was a very pivotal moment in my life because I sat there and I told him, no, we're not going back. We're going to harden it out. We're going to work on it. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to stay where we are. And literally like 3 or 6 months later, we start making a lot of money. Opportunities open up. New things happen.
What I had done in that car that Sunday night was so real to me. And it was so much more powerful than anything I had ever felt before that I didn't care about the car. I didn't care that I went to the hospital. I didn't care about any of that. It didn't matter because I knew that it was all a part of the plan. I knew that it was supposed to be this way. It was supposed to be this way. And I simply just walked forward. That's all I did. I just walked forward.
So he could have looked at the entire situation and told himself, I got the worst life ever. What is happening to me? Nothing goes good for me. But instead, he just continued with his new identity. He knew that this was supposed to happen and this is okay to happen. And whatever happens next is going to be the best for him.
A call later that week from my sister who tells me she heard this job is opening up, this specific position. Sounds good. But, here's the qualifications. I didn't meet any of the qualifications whatsoever, but that I should give it a try. And I'm like, why not, I guess. I don't really know. I mean, this doesn't make any sense to me, but, I'd known countless people that had gone to the same company and tried to interview, but had failed flat on their feet and had been turned down, and they had quite a bit more qualifications than me. So I was like, you know what? I don't know. Whatever. Let's just go try it and see what happens. And I go, like, this is the following 3 days, yada, yada, time goes by. I end up getting the ability to interview with them. And I go and I interview, and it was almost as if she didn't want to give me the job, but she knew she had no choice. Like, she knew she had to give me the job, but I could almost see in her face, it was like, I just don't want to give this guy the job. But she did. She did give me the job. And I told her, when she said how much I was going to be making, I told her to double it. I said, double it, and I will text you at the end of the year when it is done. And she thought I was just batshit crazy. She thought I was crazy, man. She was so confused because no one makes that much money in their first year at the company. Nobody does. It's not typical by any means. But I told her that I would text her. And I walked out, and you know what happened a year later? I texted her. I sent her a picture of my pay stub. And it was over $200,000 my first year. Going from nothing to having everything.
That is
having completely
crazy.
everything.
That is amazing. You see how he was sure in his own identity. So his old identity, he would be scared. He would be complicit. He wouldn't know the answers. But with his new identity, even though he's not qualified physically, like on paper, he knows that it's his. The 3D is showing him this is not for him. You're not that guy. You're not him. You're not the one for this job. But he ignored the 3D. He acted from his new identity. And he knew that he's going to get the job. And that he's going to be rich. And he's going to get those $200,000 for himself.
It was a moment of self-actualization that it just made me smile, right? At the end of all of it, when I sent her that picture. And I just felt so joyous, so just grateful right? Just grateful. But it was also a moment of recognition that we could really do anything we put our mind to. We can do anything that we become in our mind. It's not even put your mind to it. We can do anything that we become in our mind. Who we create as ourself is the true us. And I wanted to share that story because if anybody thinks that their circumstances matter, thinks that it can't happen for you, thinks that you're special, you're the exemption to the rule, right? It's actually the exception to the rule, but either way it works. You're wrong. You're just fucking wrong. I was in a pickle. I was in an absolute pickle at that point in my life.
He's saying here that whatever your situation is, if you can see or imagine a way out of it, then you're out of it. And there's always a way out of it. There's always the best thing that can happen. But you need to choose that for yourself. You need to imagine that, think that, be that person who has that opportunity. That's how you get that opportunity. By being the person who that opportunity is for. Even though the 3D is telling you you're not, who cares? Who cares what everybody else is telling you? Who cares if your car broke down? Who cares if you're sick? Who cares if you don't have the skills? If you know that you are that person, then you are that person. That is for you. This opportunity is for you. The money, the people, the person you love is for you. And you will get that. You'll get everything that you want. But you need to choose and know that it's already yours.
I didn't have much in the bank. I was working a crap-ass job with all the potential in the world, but doing nothing with it. I didn't have tons of opportunities that were flooding into my life at that time. I didn't. And I simply chose to be someone different, walked in the faith and the knowingness of being that person, and then life unfolded itself in the most magnificent way. Not to mention, COVID happened right around that time, and it propelled the industry further than it had ever been before. So you want to talk about moving mountains? I can't speak for everything, but there was a reason I was at the right place at the right time with the right people in the right situation, and I had the right skills for what we were dealing with. There's no coincidence. It doesn't exist.
What happens is when you set your intention, when you set your goal, the universe rearranges itself for your goal to come true. Did you hear me right? The universe fixes itself so it can give you your desire, your outcome. It brings opportunities, people, money, everything into your life. But you need to make the choices that the new identity would make. Because the old version of him wouldn't even go to the interview. He would just flat out reject it. He would just say, I'm not qualified. Why would I even try this? And that's how you lose. That's how you don't change anything. That's how you make your life worse. By not taking action. It's not just about, sitting there in your room and believing something's going to happen. You have to actually make the choices when they come up. But when you truly embody that new identity, the choices are so much easier to make. You know what you need to do. You know right now what you need to do. But your old identity is hindering you. It's pulling you back towards your old reality, to your current reality that you may or may not like. Pull away from that. Enter your new identity. Choose like that identity would choose. And get everything that that identity deserves.
It was that I chose to be something, and the world reshaped itself.
Absolutely.
To create that for me.
Absolutely.
And this is just one of many different manifestations that I've had. But this is the beginning of where it all started for me personally. I mean, I've had health miracles, I've had relationship success through the moon. I've had successes in general in terms of business, in terms of money. I've had random synchronicities, I've had profound moments, I've had all sorts of different things from manifesting. But I've never really done techniques. I've never really done a specific technique.
You don't need a technique. The only way a technique works is if you believe the technique works. That's why we have techniques. If you can say to yourself that this is going to work, then it's going to work. That's why every technique technically works and it technically doesn't work. All depends on your belief. What truly works in the end is the belief that the technique works. That's the only thing. That's why we use techniques, to make it easier for people, so that when they do it, and if they believe in it, it will happen. Because most people don't trust themselves until they do some kind of action. And then they believe that something's going to happen.
I just did what felt natural to me to get in the feeling state of who I wanted to be, what I wanted to experience. That's all. That's all I did. You can do the exact same thing. You're no different. You are no different.
Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one.